Good morning, and thank you for the opportunity and for the coffee. I think we might be running out of coffee slowly, so I'll keep it really, really short. As Harald has said, he's from the underground. I'm Axel Pawlik, Managing Director of the RIPE NCC, and I'm the plumber. Colleague of mine used to say, "Oh, they never talk about us much. It's just the numbers, and as long as we are working fine, it's good. As soon as it breaks, it starts stinking terribly, and people get really, really upset." So one of our priorities is to make sure that there are enough numbers for everybody, and so the technical level of the internet keeps running. So the RIPE NCC is basically set up as the secretariat for the RIPE community. Anybody in our service region, that's Europe, Middle East, parts of Central Asia, that has an interest in operating parts of the internet. So that's what we are doing since the early 90s. We currently have about 12,000 members, mostly ISPs and other organizations operating parts of the internet. We are one of 5 organizations, the other areas for Northern America, South America, Africa, and Asia Pacific. All of us are not-for-profit. Ourselves, we have offices in Amsterdam with 140 people in Amsterdam and a couple of people in Dubai and in Moscow as well. The buzzwords open, inclusive, bottom-up, transparent, you've heard it all this morning already and yesterday evening if you were here. The prime task that we are doing is allocation of internet addresses, IPv4 addresses, IPv6 addresses, and other funny numbers. And facilitation, and that's maybe the most important part, facilitation of the open community coming together, making rules about allocation of addresses and best operational practices and the like. So, as we have heard, and as we know, the internet has been running fairly successfully for the last 40 years or so. It's growing madly still up and to the right, typically internet curve. We hear about the Internet of Things, and everybody taking so many gadgets, and they're all connected nicely. So there are a couple of challenges here that we see from our particular point of view. Some political challenges and some technical challenges. Now, we've heard about the ongoing political work, let's say political work here, about the INA stewardship transition. That is very exciting for everybody. On the other hand, we say it's a little bit boring for us because the US government never really had any influence over the allocation of numbers. They knew we existed, but they don't bother. So the numbering community is ready. We have a draft contract out there. It's open for another 2 weeks for public consultation and comment. We are ready to sign it in principle. It demonstrates and it documents what has been going on for the last 20 years. Fine, it's a non-action for us, really. So we support, of course, what's going on in the other communities. And we would like to see IANA continuing stably and so on. That's important to us. Technical challenge, the main one is, we are running out of addresses, right? IPv4 addresses. We've been here ages ago, as we've heard, 20 years ago. This will happen. So we need to all quickly adopt IPv6 as the new internet protocol. And we have been doing this for the last 20 years, somewhere, I think, in our minds. So this is still ongoing. It's not fast enough. I'm always telling journalists to call me, it'll happen. Let us run out of IPv4 addresses and then something will happen. What has happened is that a market has developed for IPv4 addresses because suddenly they're really scarce. So they acquire some value, currently it's thought to be about $10 per address. So people are selling them off, like the UK government. Thank you. Putting them on the market, the access that they have, they are slowly moving to IPv6 as well. Others are picking up the IPv4 addresses to quickly scramble until they realize at some point buying IPv4 addresses is probably much more expensive than deploying IPv6. So that's one of the challenges that we are still pushing. Needs to be done. Other things that we are doing at the RIPE NCC is running one of the root name servers. K-root, we heard about that yesterday, deployed around the world. We are currently pushing that out a little bit more again, not because it's technically really necessary, but it gives everybody a good feeling, a little bit a small increase in return times and stuff like that. That's all very good. What we also see that is very important is the delivery of useful information about the internet and how it works. So we have, over the last couple of years, deployed a fairly massive global measuring network, RIPE Atlas we call that, to make sure that we understand how traffic goes and what the qualities are on the network. So stability, resiliency for the internet is one of I think, all of our topmost priority there. Growth of IPv6 versus the IPv4 markets there. Support, very much support of the bottom-up multi-stakeholder model, what Peter has referred to, and Jean-Jacques before. That is the core of our business. Not for profit. I hesitate. I'm happy to have this job because I don't have to sell anything. I can preach about it. So my excuses for that. I really like that. Multi-stakeholder openness, transparency. Have the community come together. We had a nice RIPE meeting 2 weeks ago in Amsterdam. 700 people coming there. The event is good, but the socials are even better. So you're all very welcome to come occasionally and have a look how this works. It might be a little bit confusing, but it's all very friendly people. Like I say, outreach, talking to people who are not busy with the operations of the internet is increasingly important. And I said to Malcolm a bit earlier, remember when we came to your office 15 years ago and you asked us, but what do you want? And we said, nothing. Just want to talk to you about things. Things have developed a little bit since then. Yeah, it's great that we are here again. So I keep some time for questions. Thank you very much.